What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag, and I'm here with...
NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Siesta Key, episode 17. And it's called Alex Won't
Kompomise.
Kompomise.
What did you think of the title? Because when I saw it, I died.
I was like, are you guys
like
little
why
children?
Are you guys
like, is this
trying
Sesame Street
so
right
hard?
now? Like, what's happening right now?
Why are we trying so hard right now?
Like, I want to know the person that names these episodes because like they're having too much fun. So what did you think of the episode overall?
I really liked it. It was full of drums.
So much drama.
And it was just sort of leading up to this big Alex's housewarming party.
Yeah.
I don't really get why he was like narrating it because like he really wasn't involved in the big drama. But
yeah,
like aside from like the Hannah thing, but like I was like, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was extra. Also, I thought that his narrations, like, I feel like his voice is kind of shit.
Yeah, and I feel like the narrations already are really shitty.
Yeah.
And they're really like awkwardly scripted, so like it didn't help.
Yeah,
Plus, like he
exactly.
sounds like an idiot on top of it, and
like
it just wasn't.
He's like, yo, so much drama.
Honestly, I think the voiceover that I liked the most so far was Canvas. Her voice was like on point with the voiceover.
Yeah, that's fair. It feels like she was like a bit of a natural with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Alex is just like reading. You can tell he's reading a script.
He's totally reading it.
And he probably said drama like 25 times. And I was like, what drama though? You're not even part of half of the drama. Anyway, okay, so we start off with Madisson and Kelsey, and they're on the beach. Madison's reading her book.
And Madisson basically proves like that people really do go to the beach just to read. I was like, thank you guys for showing this clip. Because I'm like, at least they do real things in this world. Like in this town, they actually go to the beach to read.
And learn. Yeah, so Kelsey rolls up and she's basically like, yo, Wilhelmina Models like called me and they're going to set up a photo shoot for me. And Madison's like, good for you, girl. And Kelsey's just like talking about how like she's worried about it being commercial. And Madison's like, good for you though. Like you're becoming a model though. So just relax.
And the whole time I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that whole storyline.
Yeah, because
like I forgot that all happened.
I almost feel like her story is a little like extra this season, just because like the stuff with Garrett, I guess, is on the cool, like is kind of on the side right now, and they try to keep pulling her back in and being like, no, but she's still relevant. Yeah, she's like a model, but I'm like, no, but still, there's like nothing there.
Yeah, I agree.
So
in this whole scene, as like Kelsey's like, I'm gonna be a model doe. Madison gets a text and she's like, LOL. She's like, it's my new man's like Ben.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know who that is. She's like, I can't keep track of your guy.
She's like, who's this person?
She's like, the producers didn't tell me who this new guy is. She's like, tell me.
So they do. So I think that was like the reason for her to explain it. She's basically like, oh, it's like this guy that I was seeing in college. And then she even says it because when we watched the recap, like when we watched the trailer for this episode, I was like, we were talking about it. I was like, was that the same guy from like the beginning of the season?
The nerdy guy.
Nerdy guy. And then she's like, no. And actually Madison tweeted us and she was like, no, it's a completely different guy. I was like, girl, get it in college. Like she was like, I've seen so many people.
Those guys were like two extreme polar opposites.
I legit didn't remember though because it's been so long.
There's no way.
So anyway, so he calls her up and then he was like, the one thing that I booked was he's like, hey, long time no see. I'm like, but you're not seeing her right now. She's on the phone with you.
You can't see her, though.
She's still unavailable to see. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Anyway, he sets up a dinner.
What did you think about his whole, like, that whole intro? Like, did you find it really, really fake?
I mean, yeah, I think there's so many things about the show that are fake, and that was like a very obvious, like, why would she randomly get a phone call?
My question was just why? Like, why him? Do you know what I mean? Like, why introduce him at this point in the season?
That's a fair point. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they lurked her phone and were like, oh, who's Ben? Like, is he around this area? Is he gonna have like an interview soon? Like, I don't know. And so that's what happens. He's basically like, I'm in town. For an interview, let's go for dinner. I feel like it's
because he's rich.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like it's because he's rich and he probably has access to like a crazy lifestyle. They're like, yo, bring your friend in so we can film him too.
Because maybe if we kick out Alex, he can be like the next one.
Exactly.
Like the second season. So anyway, so that happens. And then she's like, sure, I'll go for dinner with you. And then it cuts to Brandon and Carson. I'm honestly
Brandon
done.
was a Debbie Downer the whole episode. This guy was literally drinking every single shot they shot of Brandon. He was like chugging. He was like shot.
Lonely.
He was just fading away, sad. And I was like, oh my god, he's like drinking his sorrows away. Like he can't even deal with his life.
And Carson's like, yo, like it's like sucks to be you. And then Brandon's like, I wrote Madisson a song. I'm gonna write a song. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work out, but sure, if you want to like try it, then go ahead. But Carson's like, don't get your hopes up too high, because like, you know, like you done fucked up pretty bad.
I love how like Brandon was like, it's the only thing I'm good at. I'm gonna write a song.
I'm like,
J-Lag is gonna freak out.
I'm like, I don't think that's the strength that you should be focusing on. Yeah. No shade. So anyway, so that's that scene, and then it cuts to Paige and Canvas, and we have like a little moment with them,
like a brunch date, yeah,
like a brunch date, yeah. So this is coming off after last episode where they were like handsy, and then they made out with each other at the end. Right. So I guess it's a reveal that like, yeah, that was a real kiss,
totally real. So right? Unlike last week's where I was very like, okay, this feels very fake.
Right.
I felt like this scene was totally real.
Yeah.
And like you can just tell from their facial expressions that like they're genuinely interested in each other. Right. Like Paige looked very excited.
Yeah, and it feels like, I mean,
I was convinced. I was definitely convinced. I was like, okay, this definitely like feels real.
And they admit that it's a new experience for the both of them as well, too, right? Like,
does Candace say that though?
I think she just says like, so have you ever been with a girl? Or maybe it was Paige that says it. I don't remember, but I think it's just like an experience. Why do you ask?
Because it didn't sound like Canvas, like the way Canvas was asking Paige, it was almost like, I've been here before, like, but have you? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I took it. Because it's not, like, Canvas was very, like, direct almost.
But I don't think Canvas was very, like, aware of what was happening either. I don't think that she was there either.
I don't know.
So anyway, she basically says, like, like Paige says, I'm attracted to like personalities of people. Right. So she must be bi, I guess. Like I guess she identifies as bi. So Canvas is like, yeah, but I like your personality. Like she was very like
she was
very
aggressive.
smooth, like smooth
and like
talking.
Yeah.
And so basically Paige is like, but now I gotta tell my sister, so what am I gonna do now? And Canvas is like, yo, I need you to tell her, because
she's like, how about this one? You tell her.
Because she's like, if I do it, she's gonna fucking murder both of us. Yeah. So Paige is like, true. I gotta do this, but I gotta like, I don't know how to like warm into it or whatever. But then she's like, also like, I can't fight my feelings, so I need to like do this quick because I still want to be with you or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, girl. I was like, get it. Like, where did this come from?
High key relationship of the entire season. I was like, where did this come from?
I'm like, where did this come from? But also, I'm like feeling it. I'm so down for it.
Yeah, they're super cute.
So then it cuts to our favorite couple, Juliet and Hannah.
Oh my god. Hannah.
And so Juliet just like right off the top is like, hey girl, what the fuck is going on?
I love how Hannah's like totally like crying. She's like, I try to be a good friend to people, and like this is what I get. Like I can't. Like, so, what are you crying about?
And because like they're basically fighting with each other. Juliet's like, yo, I heard that you were talking shit about me to Polly, and my man found out, like Alex found out, and he told me. And then on the other side, Hannah was like, yeah, but I also heard that you've been talking shit about me.
Yeah.
So
like then, like when Alex was talking shit, why didn't you stick up for me? Like I'm your best friend.
Exactly. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but clearly they have a very dysfunctional friendship. Forget their relationships.
Yeah. And I almost feel like in that second, like Hannah started to cry, and she was like, I can't do this right now. And it almost sounded like she just couldn't be on camera to film that moment. And I was like, okay. And then she walked away. She gets off from the table and she walks inside. So I'm like, damn, like these scenes must be like really, especially for the newcomers, like it must be kind of awkward to film these moments.
So here's the question that I had for you. Crew. Here's the question that I had for you, because in this moment, this is when Juliet basically says, like, Alex came for your relationship. And because she was like, he said to me that like you cheat on your boyfriend all the time. And that's when Hannah kind of loses her shit. So the question that I had, or I have two questions.
She doesn't deny it though, eh?
The first question I have was, do you think that in this particular situation, with Juliet reacting the way that she reacts Do you think that she's wrong though in how Hannah kind of like treats the situation with her and Alex?
No, because I think and even like what happens at the end of the episode, look, I think if Juliet's going to come to Hannah and complain on the daily, like, you have to be prepared for what Hannah's going to say. You're going to her and you're complaining to her. You're opening that door for that conversation. If you don't want to hear what Hannah has to say, don't talk to her about Alex. On the flip side, like, Hannah's right too, though, because, like, even when Alex is talking shit about Hannah, Juliet's not saying anything.
She's not saying anything back. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Like, you have to sort of stick up. Yes, I understand he's your boyfriend, 100%. You take it, and then you can stick up for her and be like, no, like, whatever, just don't talk. Don't say anything, whatever.
And here's the moment.
I honestly feel like Juliet's so scared of confrontation, and she's so scared to, like, defy Alex. She can't go against him. Anything he says, she, like, gets scared. You can just see it. Like, she doesn't want to fight with him.
You definitely see it in, like, during the housewarming, like, how she just, like, freezes up and, like, basically hides behind his skirt. Like, she doesn't move or say anything.
Because she's so scared.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to mess anything up.
Right. So anyway, we'll get back to that. So the second question I had was the way that Hannah reacted to how Juliet got cheesed. Do you think she's mostly, like, she reacted the way she reacted because there's a lot of truth to what she was saying?
Probably.
Because by the end of the episode, she's basically like, don't talk shit on my relationship. That's not even true. And Juliet's like, she's like, okay, fine, whatever you say. But then that's when, like, Hannah, like, leaves the party anyway. Like, spoiler alert. But, like... Like, that's when she gets very upset when she hears someone say it to her.
And I think at that point already they were so cheesed at each other that, like, it doesn't even matter what they're saying at this point. They're just so cheesed at each other.
They're just fighting.
You know what I mean? Like, they're just pissed.
It's true.
And it looks like, and I said this before, it honestly looks like to me that Hannah is the one with the squad. And, like, Juliet doesn't really have a squad. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when Hannah came to the party, like, we can talk about it later too, but even when Hannah rolled in, like, she had a group of girls and, like, Juliet was sort of on her own too. So I don't know. I feel like sure how that works. I feel like Juliet needs Hannah more than Hannah needs Juliet at this point.
That's true. Anyway, so we'll move on, and we got our favorite person.
Your favorite scene.
Oh my god. Best song of all my life.
Best song of time.
Brandon. Oh god, it gives me chills.
Literally,
in the worst possible way. I can't deal with his garbage music. And, like, the funniest thing is, like, there's an actual mixer in the room, like, recording it for him, and he's, like, turned up with it too. So because he's like, I gotta make this work, I gotta make it look like I'm, like, doing a good job for this guy, but the song is still shit and the lyrics are still garbage. And his voice is not good. Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay, so here's the thing. We're doing this podcast now, and we got a few, like, of the cast listening. But in all honesty, I don't like Brandon's character. And I don't know if it's, like, his character or him as a person. But, like, I just, like...
You know what I mean? I
don't
both.
mean to, like, continually shit all over him. But, like, I'm just not feeling him at all.
And... I think it's just who he is. I think he's, like, young still. I think he has, like, a lot of learning to do. I don't think he's faking it for the cameras. I really don't think he is. Like, I think he's just...
I honestly, like, hope really, that he is, because...
I think he's just really immature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has a lot to learn still.
Yeah. So anyway, he's singing this garbage song thinking that and then, like, after he finished, he's like, nailed it. I'm going to send this to him. I'm going to be like the
I'm
best.
I'm my girl back. She going to come back to me.
I'm like, no, not with that song, bro. Just, like, sing a song by
Maybe you should have done, like,
Ed Sheeran or
like, exactly, like, sing Ed Sheeran or something.
Like, choose another one, or, like, get a Drake song that's really good or something. I don't know. So anyway, there's that scene. And then it cuts to our girl Madisson and Ben. Yeah. And they go up on a date.
Literally, it took me, like, 0.5 seconds to fall in love with Ben. I was like, oh, okay.
So I was going to ask you right off the top, how are you feeling about Ben?
Okay, so first I didn't like him because I was like, ugh, like, rich boy, whatever.
Right.
And then he rolled up in a Range Rover and all this. I'm like, oh, I can't deny.
That's how you get to MB's heart. Is like with the Range Rover.
I'm like, damn it. No,
you and honestly, Madisson, like, both, because Madison's like, nice car.
Yeah. So right away, she's like, I'm feeling this. No, but I didn't like him until the party at the end. So at the party, I was like, okay, I think I kind of like him. Like, he's kind of witty and, like, he's kind of funny. So I'm kind of excited to see a bit more of him before I like make my complete judgment.
That's totally fair. I don't know. I feel like right off the top, I wanted to like keep an open mind because like he does. It's so typical, like the rich white boy, like he's like working and traveling, and like I want to hate on him so badly, but also like it's mostly just because I'm completely jealous of his life.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. Like in the beginning, it's like you want to hate him, but then like by the end, I'm like, oh, but he's kind of funny right now, so like I'm kind of down for this.
Yeah, and
like I don't know if he's right for Madison, but like if you want to be on the show, cool, go for it.
Well, that was my next question. Do you feel like they have a bit of chemistry, or do you think they're just kind of catching up as friends?
I think he has chemistry with everyone. I think he's so I think he's so smooth. Like it's just you can tell like the way he was so natural with her right from the start. Like they haven't seen each other in like what, a year or how many years? Like to sort of jump off of that so fast. Yeah, you can have chemistry, but I feel like he can click with a lot of girls. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think he's like suavemente in that
100%,
regard then?
100% he is.
Okay, so he's like a bit of a playboy.
Yeah. I mean, he was very confident, like, but I liked the confidence, like the way he approached Brandon, like everything that happened later on. Like, he didn't come off as like a douchebag to me, even though he probably is. He just sounded a bit more confident, and like I like that.
I like it.
I like
that. So by the end of the day, basically, he asks Madison point blank, like, what have you been up to? Are you single?
He's like, so have you been single? She's like, God, no.
She's like, fuck no.
I've had relationships.
And it was fucked up. Oh. Yeah. So she kind of explains it a little bit, but then he's like, ooh, you nerdy. Like, no, he doesn't say that, but like, I think that he got interested the fact that like she's like still playing the field, but like he's also very happy that she's single, like living her single life. So
right, and I also don't understand. Like he said, he's in Florida for like 4 days, so like he's gonna be gone soon.
Right. Maybe he just wants to like do stuff.
Maybe, yeah, probably
like, hand stuff. I don't know. So anyway, then it cuts to Juliet and Alex. And Alex randomly just bought a house in the middle of the season. Is that what happened? I mean, like, is that literally just what happened?
Like Alex didn't buy a house. His parents bought a house for him.
His parents bought a house for him, and he's moving in right now. Yeah,
right, because I think he's going to go to law school, or he already is going to law school. I guess the house is like near the campus or whatever.
Or is it his like present for graduating or something?
Who knows?
Is he done? I don't care.
No, he's in law school.
So
he's going to be a lawyer.
No. So Juliet comes through and like wants to talk to him, and she was like, "What a great house! Like this, and this. Like, are you gonna have a housewarming party?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then, so this is the part that really, really frustrated me. Mm-hmm. She goes out of her way and is like, "So you're having this house party? Cool. Can I invite Hannah, who you obviously hate right now?"
Yeah.
Obviously, does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't make sense. But like, she's obviously asking because she has to ask, because that's the conflict of the episode. So I get why she asked it. It probably wasn't like her choice to ask it in that moment.
Right. Yeah.
But the way that it sort of unfolds, and he gets really offended right away, and like he's like, "That's messed up. Like, why would I want her to come here? She talks to me all the time. Like, why?" And right away, she like backed down. Like, she was terrified. Like, you could see it in her eyes. She was like, "Oh, error. Like, I can't like process this. Like, he can't be mad at me." Like, she just like glitched out and she couldn't handle it.
And then she says one of my favorite lines of the episode.
Oh my God.
2 rights don't make a wrong. Girl, bye.
And like the best part though, like the best part, guys, is like when she said it, her face was like, fuck, I just said it. Like, it's like she knew, and like she knew that they had caught it on camera. Like, she's like, oh shit.
And even Alex was like, we can't redo that take or nothing. Even Alex was like,
no, girl, you said it wrong.
Like, and he says it. He's like, it's 2 wrongs don't make a right, girl.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing.
Like in that moment, I was like, Alex, like, who are you dating right now?
Like, I think that's the thing. Like, I don't know who I'm more embarrassed for, like her or him.
Yeah.
Like the one who's dating this girl or her.
Probably him. Probably
like
him.
Real talk, because like he was just like, oh God, like why did I do this show? Like, why are you the main girl of my life? So anyway, so like that happens. And then it cuts to our girl Kelsey.
Hey.
So we finally get a little break from the drama with them, and we get to see her like really fucking up on a photo shoot.
Didn't this remind you of like all those times like Lauren was at like those like crazy photo shoots or like modeling gigs?
Except they made this like they made they made this like way more dramatic.
Oh my god, this was like some Black Swan shit. Like it was crazy intense.
So she's on this photo shoot, and the first few, like, she's like not working out, and like you can hear like this whispering from like the photographer and I guess the agent, and she was like, she's looking pretty stiff, she's looking really stiff. And like Kelsey's in the background, and she does look stiff. She looks like shit.
She does.
Like, what is she doing?
Really, like even when she smiled, like she looked like she was forcing it. Like
right.
It just didn't look good.
I guess the one thing that I can give her is the fact that she does like take criticism. She's like, I wanted to hear the criticism, but before she says that, there's a slow motion shot of like these close up shots of her face, like changing into the next outfit.
Yeah,
and it's just like echoes
of
her being
in
like,
her brain.
Yeah, it's like she looks super stiff. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is
Can
this?
she be a model?
She's like,
will she survive? Will she survive? I'm like, guys, can you not?
So then she like snaps out of it.
Like, guys, like she literally emerges from the curtains, like slow mo.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm ready.
She's like,
she's in her bathing suit, and like, she was just feeling herself.
Yeah. Then it worked out the second time around.
Yeah.
And then she finally gets pulled into like some other real drama, and she gets a notification on Instagram. Why is everybody just checking their phones randomly?
First of all, I love this moment just like because she gets a notification from Instagram. Like where? Why? Why is your phone even on you right now? Like you're modeling. Second of all, so she opens her phone and she basically sees an Instagram post of G Baby and Garrett. And the girl from last week, Nicole.
Yeah.
And it was during the car wash. But, like, guys, it's, like, the dumbest picture ever. Like, it's, like, Garrett taking a selfie of him and Nicole. Or someone else taking a photo of them. Like, while the hose was, like, running in the back.
It looks like the MTV, like, photo shoot.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Just posted it,
and I'm like, first of all, that was never on his timeline. So that was, like, a fake edit, like, image.
You're like, this is fake. Yeah.
Second of all, like, if you're going to do a fake image, guys, why don't you capture a shot that, like, legit looks real?
Yeah.
Like, you guys literally choose, like, the most fakest looking photo to put up on his thing. Like, it looks so fake.
Apparently, this photo was, like, known across the land of Siesta Key because everybody fucking found out about it. And, like, it became, like, a storyline.
According to Alex.
According to Alex. He's like, even I saw that picture.
Like, even I saw it.
I'm like, but it was just a regular picture. Anyway, I can't.
Like, it's on Instagram. It's on his feed. Obviously, you're going to see it.
I legit, like, feel like the fake drama in this is so shit. Like, I hate it. Like, when it's like the funny, stupid drama, I'm down to like have a show just like that. But when they show these moments where it's like, open up your phone and check for a fake picture of you, Garrett, and his new girl.
Like, it's trying really hard
it's
to be
really
that
extra.
real, like, yeah, you're right.
And I'm just like, stop. Just stop. It was good as it was. Maybe I don't need Kelsey right now. Like, maybe I don't need that storyline. Yeah. Just leave it for now. So anyway, we cut to Tarek, my boy Tarek, and Madisson, and they're meeting for like a drink, and Tarek is like throwing the best shade of all time the entire time with Madisson, and he's like, so how's Brandon? He's like, oh wait, is it Ben?
Can we just talk about like how his story was like literally 30 seconds? Yeah. And then like it cut to her. I'm like, okay, but like, I kind of want to know about his life a bit more.
That's true. I feel like it's going to be like the overarching like storyline like in the finale maybe where like it might get resolved. But like they don't have anything else to shoot because he's essentially like living in a motel. So like it would just basically be like cut to Tarek in a motel. Like, I don't know like how exciting that would look. I mean, it could get exciting. Anyway.
So I guess in this moment, Madisson invites him to Alex's like housewarming party.
Right. Yeah. And so then he asks about Ben, and he kind of just continues to shit talk Brandon because Madisson says, you know, I'm not really interested in getting into something with Ben seriously because I just got out of this relationship with Brandon. So I'm just kind of like here to have a bit of fun, whatever. But then Brandon takes that moment to be like, oh no, not Brandon. Tarek takes that moment to like totally shit all over Brandon and be like, he's a cheater.
Just, like, useless.
I done told you that he was a cheater. And he says something interesting, and I didn't want to get into it, but I'm not really sure what it meant. He was like, his type likes to cheat, and I'm like, but what's his type? Like, is it a musician, or like is he like coming for something else?
No, I think he just means like the type of guy that Brandon is. Kind of.
But what does that mean? What is it? What type of guy is Brandon? He's a
sociable guy. He's a good-looking guy. He's into the music world, into the rap performing. He loves the attention. Like someone who's kind of like loves being in the spotlight, maybe like the attention on him. It's easy for him to sort of like look at a bunch of girls because he gets so many girls. You know what I mean?
Ugh,
I think that's what he means. Like,
all right, fair enough. And so Tarek basically says like, we're gonna show up to this party. You bring Ben, and we're gonna shove it in his face because like he should deserve to know like what he's missing out on because he done fucked up.
Right.
Do you think that it's fair for Tarek to like be as savage as he is right now?
Yes, 100%. Look, anything that Brandon gets, I'm sorry, you deserve it.
That's
like,
fair.
I love how even Tarek after was like, you embarrassed her. Like, you did it in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's
true. It's true. You did embarrass her. And and on top of that, you did it on like the night where everyone was there. Like, no, you're not getting off. No.
And he cheers this to the tall, blue-eyed white men of the world, which I thought was kind of cute.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Garrett and Chloe at the gym.
Cool.
And honestly, I'm so sorry, but Garrett like just doesn't know how to improv. Like I don't think he ever took an improv class in his entire life. But Chloe was trying to like strike
Why would he? He's not acting. It's his real life.
But this is. But he can't even be a real person. Like I don't know. So Chloe's like, oh, so the car wash was whatever. You had a good time, and she was like, Kelsey was like all touchy, and Garrett's like, yeah, we were touching. Like that's literally so what he said. Man. Like he couldn't like rebuttal with something funny.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's the thing. Just last episode, he was our MVP or my MVP because I thought he was like natural and funny. So I think he has it in him, but I feel like these staged moments like really glitch him out, and he just doesn't know how to act normal.
Yeah.
I want to give him that defense because he like sounded like a dum-dum. So in that moment, Nicole calls, and he's like, oh, that's the girl. Or no, Chloe's like, oh, is that the girl that
she's like just lurking in so hard?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's the girl that got the golden ticket or whatever. And Chloe's like, I hope Kelsey doesn't find out about this.
I'm gonna tell her.
Like I honestly can't with like the way that these like storylines are pushed.
Yeah.
So then that's the end of that scene, and then it cuts to Paige and Madison, and they're just like chilling.
Such a good scene.
On like the side dock or whatever. And Paige like is like, yo, girl, I gotta tell you something though.
Yeah.
And she just lays it down. She's like, so I've been kind of seeing Canvas. And like already Madison's like glitching out.
Madison's just good because I think they went to like their dad's house to do laundry. So already she was like, did you do the laundry?
She's like, hurry up, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah, she's already like cheesed. And so Paige is like trying to like, I'm like, maybe Paige, you shouldn't have done it when you guys were like already in a bad mood with each other. Like maybe done it in a better time. So anyway, she's like, what's going on with you guys? Like, are you guys just hanging out? Like, what's the big deal? And Paige is like, we're kind of like seeing each other. Yeah, so she basically
says like we're seeing each other more than just friends. But at this point, Madison's like, geez, like she's pissed. But she's pissed about two things. I think she's pissed about the fact that like Paige is even meeting with Canvas, who's like a shady like person. Yeah. Apparently to Madison. She hates her. So she's already like, why are you hanging out with like my like enemy? And then also she's saying like, why are you guys like hooking up, or are you into her? Like, why are you into her? So she's kind of cheesed about two things, right?
Yeah. She like it sucks because like she just kept laying it down on her, and like Madison's already pissed off just generally about Canvas, but then she just kept adding like extra layers. Like first of all, it's like we're hanging out, and then it's like we're romantically involved, and then we went to brunch, and then we went for drinks. Like there's so many extra layers that get added, and Madison's face was killing me the entire time. I was like, she's not having this at all.
Yeah, she was pissed.
So like the peak of that whole moment is like her standing up and being like, go follow your heart then, and then she like just dips like from the moment, and Paige is like about to cry. So do you think that it's warranted or fair that Madison reacted the way she reacted?
Look, I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't really know what she was mad at. I honestly there was two things that she was mad at, like supposedly mad at, but I think it was kind of narrow. It was one thing, but I don't know what it was because she was really upset. Like she was more upset than you should be if like Do you really hate Canvas that much? Like, I didn't know she hated her that much.
I mean, I guess she does, right?
I guess, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's not warranted. Like, why do you hate her that much? She didn't do anything. Like, she told you about your boyfriend. She did something good for you.
But I guess she's just holding that over her head, like how she didn't like her from the time and how she was coming for Brandon from the get-go.
Anyways, what do you think of it all?
I don't know. I think that it's totally warranted because I think just Madison has her own feelings and she's totally like, she's okay to feel those feelings. I don't think that like it should, like, I think Madison should at some point in time like be the bigger person, because I don't think that Canvas even cares about how like, I think the problem is Canvas goes about her life like she's not doing anything wrong. So she's like, I'm completely blameless in the situation. I'm just like involved in your life. And Madison somehow just has to deal with it. And it seems that Madison doesn't want to just have to deal with it. If Canvas like was able to like try to, you know, foster some sort of relationship with Madison, maybe it would be a little different. Right. So in this particular situation, I feel like Madison just needs to like, I guess, be the bigger person and just like try to move on. But it's clearly really upsetting her. Mm-hmm. Because I think, you know, like, first it's Brandon, then it's Paige. Like, who's next, like, in her life that's, like, going to be stolen away by this girl? Like, it's just going to become this, like, catty competition.
Yeah, but she's not really stealing her away. They're just having a friendship. Like,
right.
It's kind of...
I mean, this could be, like, something more, you know what I mean? So, like, at this point in time, like, I think it's just, like, maybe Madison's just cheese that, like, she doesn't know who Canvas is. She never knew who she was from the get-go. And, like, now this girl's swooping in. Like, she's a part of her life for whatever reason. And she's, like, not just a part of her life. She's lurking in on people that she cares about. So... Mm-hmm. Like, I would feel some type of way too, because like Canvas doesn't seem to like want to. It's almost like, okay, so here's the situation too, right? Like, if you're dating somebody at some point in time, if Paige and Canvas are like legit and end up dating each other officially, you'd want the girlfriend and the sister to like get along as well as possible, because like that's like your fam and like that's like your girl. So like if she's not going to make any effort to like try to foster a relationship, then like what is Madison left to do, you know? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's how I feel about that. And then it cuts to Madison and Kelsey, and Madison's getting ready for this housewarming.
Right.
And Kelsey's like sitting there with her like nerdy glasses, and she was like, come through, like I just need your help. I need you to come for like moral support, because Kelsey's just not feeling it. I guess because she's bummed about the whole Garrett thing. And like I think even Garrett calls in that moment, no? And then she like doesn't answer.
No, I think it was Carson.
Oh, Carson calls.
I think Carson calls and she's like, oh God. And she hangs up and they start laughing because like she ignored it. I was like, bitch, you ignored his calls?
Poor guy. I feel so bad for him. Like,
bad.
I really wish that they like could have worked shit out, but I guess not. No. So anyway, finally Kelsey's like, all right, fine, I'll go to this amazing party because I want to be a part of the storyline right now. And then Madison's like, cool, girl. And then that's the end of that part. And then the housewarming starts.
Right.
And then the big reveal was the slow motion Hannah intro. Like everybody shows up, but then like Hannah shows up in the slow motion. So she comes through and everybody's like, what the fuck? But like she was invited.
All you hear is like Paulie's commentary. He's like, oh, who's that? Who's the new guy? Who's that? I'm at the bar. Like all you hear is his dumbass voiceover like in the background.
Extra. So he's there, and then Ben and Madison show up hand in hand, and Brandon is like glitching out.
He spotted that guy from like miles away. He's like, who's that guy?
He's just got these like squinty, like angry eyes going on basically the entire rest of the episode.
And like I said, guys, like Brandon was already on another vibe. Like he was drinking or smoking or whatever he was doing. His eyes did not look right that night. Like that whole episode already. He looked like he was just in like a really shitty place.
Right.
And then this guy comes in and he was just negative Nancy the whole time.
Yeah.
He calls him like a poser. He's like already making comments like under his breath. Like you haven't even met him yet, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, he's just cheesy with the whole situation.
Yeah.
And Madison's trying to like, so I think at one point in time, Madison and Alex talk, and he's like, who's this girl or who's this new guy? And Madison's like, no, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, I know it's like pretty fresh with Brandon, so I don't want to do anything right now.
Yeah.
But
And I actually liked Alex for saying that too, because he was like, yeah, like, I don't want you to like date anyone. Like, you should take a break for a minute and like just kind of like.
But it's mostly because he's like low key still into Madison. Let's be real.
I hope so.
So he basically he says that, and Madison says like, I'm not throwing. I don't want to throw it in his face, but like I also just want to live my life. And I'm like, but you are kind of throwing it in his face, like, aren't you?
Yeah.
Inviting
like,
some random stranger to that party?
Exactly.
Not necessarily, but so I kind of loved the fact that she was like trying to defend herself. Girl, just own it. Like, you're throwing it in his face. That's totally fine. I would do the same shit. You know what I mean? And so then there's a really funny moment with Polly, who's, like I said, extra in this whole scene.
I know what you're going to say.
And he's at the bar.
Oh my God, I love this moment.
And I feel like it's like Paige and Canvas and him and someone else at the bar, I think Tarek. And Polly's like, is he lurking on some other girl or something? Or he's like, hey, like, let me like do something. And then Tarek's like, aren't you with Paige? And he's like, Paige is over me though. And like Paige is like she's so embarrassed. She's like, fuck, what a regret. She's like, I don't know what's more regretful, that face makeup on Halloween or kissing Polly. Like,
I don't know, girl. You had a bad month.
So anyway, so there's that scene really quickly, and then it cuts to Kelsey and Chloe. And I love Chloe because she just like swoops in and she like tries to start some drama and then like she like disappears. So she comes in and she was like, yeah, you saw that picture though? Oh, you saw that picture? And Kelsey's like, yeah, I'm pretty cheesed about it or whatever, but like, what can you do?
Yeah.
And I think
she says, she's like, you know, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm over him and I don't want to ask him because like I don't know where he stands.
Right.
And Chloe's like, well, did you see that picture? I'm pretty sure that like tells you where he stands. I'm like, what? So savage.
So savage. And that's when Alex is like, even I saw that picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. You're not even in this story.
Why are you here?
Go away.
What are you doing?
And then it cuts to
go to the bar.
Then it cuts to Canvas, and she comes by to like chill with Paige, and it just keeps cutting back to Madison's cheesed ass face
This
while they're like
so
feeling each other
fake.
up or whatever.
Like I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, the editing was so bad.
Bad.
They had no footage to take and use.
They were probably not even in the same area.
They definitely were not even in the same area. You can tell that Madison was talking to Ben the entire time. Like she was not looking in their direction whatsoever. Like it did not fit.
It was so
I was like, good try, guys, but not even good try.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't even do that right. And also, and I don't even know if I can blame the editing on this, but Brandon basically the entire time looks like a possessed loner. Like,
but I think he was like that the whole night.
He's literally kicking rocks in the corner and drinking by himself. But like, it really makes me feel like, why are you at this party? Why are you looking like such a dumbass right now? Like, who comes to a party just to kick rocks and
You're
like
a dumbass,
be a loser?
dude.
Dumbass. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, Brandon, because he's so cheesed and he's continually glitching out, he goes up to Tarek and he's like, yo, Tarek, what's going on with this Ben guy? Like, I need to know the situation.
Yeah.
And Tarek like lays it on him real hard. He's like, why do you even give a shit?
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that Madison is really happy right now and she's totally over you. And Brandon's like,
he's like, nah, I'm gonna get her back.
He's like, nah. And like, Tarek's like, yeah.
And so he literally asks about like Ben. He's like, who is this guy? And Tarek's like, first of all, he's amazing.
He's like, he doesn't even know him. And he's like, yes.
He has a job. He makes a living.
And he'll never cheat on Madison.
And he's not a musician. And I was like,
so
I was
rude.
like, the savage levels.
So rude.
Oh my God. But he literally spoke the truth. And I was like, thank you so much. Because like he's been saying what we've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Brandon just walks away from the situation because Brandon's like, why are you coming for me though? And Tarek's like, you're the one that came up to me.
Yeah. Brandon's like, whoa, chill, man. He's like, you came up to me, you asked for my advice or my opinion, this is what you get.
Like, this is what it is.
And then he just like walked away.
What else did you expect to happen? Brandon's like, okay, cool. Like, you went to her good friend to like what? Be good friends with you? Like, dude, don't be stupid. So then it cuts to Hannah and some random girl.
Hold on. Before. And then right when he's about to leave, I think Alex's voiceover comes in.
Yeah.
And he was like, He's like, I knew it was impossible to win back Madison's heart too, but Brandon was gonna find out the hard way.
Oh,
I was like, why? What?
Guys,
like,
there's so much foreshadowing that happens that like kills me.
Like, what?
I'm like, when are we gonna find out? It's already episode 17.
Yeah, and there's like 10 minutes left in the episode. Like, when is this gonna happen?
Yeah. So anyway, so that happens, and then it cuts to Hannah and some random girl, and like Hannah's just like cheese, and like everybody's just like bitching about each other.
That random girl was killing me. She was killing me because she did not give zero fucks. Like, she did not care for the storyline. She didn't care that they were filming an episode. Like, she just came there to have a good time.
She's like, I'm here for the beer.
Hannah kept bringing her in. She's like, yo, I don't know what to do. Like, she's like, I don't know. Like, she did not want to be the supportive friend that Hannah needed her to be.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yo, these girls are so extra. Oh my God.
Ridiculous. So then it cuts to Hannah and Alex like at the bar. Hannah basically like rolls up and is like, okay, I guess we gotta talk about this shit.
I guess we gotta talk. And I think, was it at that moment where like Polly was like standing there and he's like, well, I better go get myself a drink. And Hannah's like, you're already at the bar
so don't be fucking weird. He's so weird. Why is he so weird? Anyway. I don't know. So then Hannah like just goes off. Like both of them are going off. Like Alex, but it's stupid bickering. I love
Hannah and Alex. I'm just gonna say this right now. I think Hannah and Alex would be the hottest couple ever because she stands up to him. Like she's okay with getting to his level, and Juliet cannot get to his level because she's terrified of him.
Imagine you think like if you really think about it, the fact that they like fight with each other and bicker with each other, because you're right, she does challenge him. I'm telling
you, like they're really hot together. Yeah, like she can fight on his level, and you need that sometimes. Like And so they start fighting, and you can see Juliet sort of like crawling in the background because she's so scared. Like, there you go, like there's your answer. Like she's literally lurking in the shadows.
Just like sit, yeah.
Like, what do you guys talk? What do you guys talk about?
She's like, hey. She's like, you guys talk about me? And they're like, yeah, we are.
And then she just like cries and like walks away to the fire. I'm like, what?
So Hannah basically says to her like, you don't have respect for yourself, so why would I have respect for you?
Yeah.
And that's when Juliet dips.
That's a big line to drop.
And Alex is like, yo, good job being a good friend to her. And Hannah's like, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Like, she fucking hates Alex.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. There's a very fine line between hate and love.
Exactly.
And I feel like I can totally see it happening.
Not even love. I think there's like a sexual tension there that like you hate that guy so much or whatever. That,
like honestly, there was a moment where they were like, he was like, you started, and she's like, no, you started. It's like, no, you started. I'm like, and then I just wanted to see them make out like real fast.
I'm telling you,
I mean?
like I'm down for that.
Honestly, if Juliet wasn't in the picture, I'm sure that would have happened already.
Yeah, it's true.
So then it cuts to Juliet, and she's like mopey, but she just looks really stupid. So we talked about it earlier in the episode. This is the moment where like she rolls up. So before she leaves the bar, after like Hannah and Alex are bickering, she comes up, but like every single time Hannah looks at her and argues with her, she can't even like look at Hannah in the eyes. She's like looking at Alex for like almost like approval to even say anything. Like we've seen Juliet turn up and like go off on people. She literally was about to punch Kelsey. Like she can stand up for herself and go off. But in this episode, you can see how much power Alex has over her. Or like you said, that pure fear of losing that relationship just keeps her like completely static. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think she's like such a fearful person. Like, she's not brave at all.
She's uber insecure, and I think I don't definitely agree with Hannah saying that to Juliet, saying like, you have low self-esteem, you don't have respect for yourself. It's fucking true. Would I say that at a party? No.
Yeah,
I definitely would say that behind closed doors as like girl talk, but
and maybe she has, right? But like it hasn't clicked in Juliet, and so she's just kind of saying it now.
So Hannah's like, I'm gonna tell it to national television.
Everyone. And so basically, I guess like they kind of moved to like another area of Alex's backyard,
right?
And they're sitting there, and now like Juliet and Hannah are like really going off,
right?
And the useless friend that Hannah brought is now sitting there beside her,
yeah.
And like I don't know if you noticed, but like somewhere in between the fight, the friend was like giggling.
Yeah.
But like they're having like a legit conversation that's gonna end their friendship.
Right.
This girl literally like laughs and like gets up and walks away. She's like, I don't want to have a part of this dumbass drama.
She's like, I'm out of here.
Your friends are not even looking out for you right now, girl. Who are your friends?
Let me go grab some more. And then Amanda is randomly in this whole situation, and I wanted to talk to NP about it so badly because I'm like, where are you coming from, and why are you here?
She basically stands over like Juliet and Hannah, and she's like whispering to like a next girl. She's like, she brings up the past a lot of the time. I was like, what? Like, since when?
I was like, we don't need your commentary, girl. You're so unnecessary.
She's so extra.
She's like, they'd never let anything go. And I'm like, stop. You're not the voiceover, okay? It's Alex. So, like, wait your turn. If you ever get a turn. And then Hannah gets so pissed because I guess, like, Juliet and her, like, fight. And then Hannah's like, listen, I don't want to hear about your shit. Don't ever come back to me with your shit. And Juliet says the same. Like she was like, no, I don't want to hear about your shit either. It's just like typical like dumb girl friend drama.
Yeah, and then I think like Hannah's just like over it. She gets up and she walks away, right? And then like walks to like her crew of like blondes, and she's like, let's get out of here. I can't even.
She's like, I'm so pissed off now.
I'm like mad.
I'm gonna lose it.
And her friends are like, true. We don't want to leave though.
She's like, yeah, but like we almost got on camera. Like, but they only got a wide shot of us, so like, can I come in through a little bit closer? The question that I have for you is, do you think that at this point in time, Hannah is being a bad friend?
No.
No.
I think Juliet's a really bad friend. And if you actually listened in that conversation, she says too, she's like, I don't come to you with my problems. Like Hannah's saying this to Juliet.
Right.
Like, so maybe like their friendship wasn't as like deep as we thought it was. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I'm like, they don't sound like I said before, it sounds like Juliet needs Hannah more than Hannah needs Juliet. It looks like Juliet has her own friends, has her own crew wherever they go to school, and it seems like Juliet comes to her with her issues, and Hannah's like, well, I don't come to you with mine, so fuck off. Like, done. I'm done.
Basically. Yeah. And then we get a final scene.
Oh my god!
Our final scene is with Brandon and Ben. Yes. And Ben like comes in, and Brandon's like,
so the whole night Ben is being, let me just say, super cool. Okay, he comes to like a new person's house. He brings a drink first of all for Alex for like a housewarming gift.
True.
Classy AF.
Yeah.
Then later in the kitchen, he's talking to Paige. I'm like, oh, okay, so like they're friends too, like cool, whatever.
Right.
Then he sees Brandon, and he goes up to Brandon and I was like, okay, cool, like he's the one who's like introing himself first.
And he's not trying to start shit or anything. He's just like, hey, I've heard so much about you.
Heard about you. And Brandon was just like, boom, boom, boom. Like the shit that he was saying. But
he says such dumb things. It's not even boom, boom, boom. It's like so shit. So he's like, you thirsty? And then Ben's like, no, I'm good. And then he's like, you want grapes? Yeah. I'm like, this guy's drunk, man. Like, he's fucked.
Yeah, he was fucked up. But I love how I think Brandon was like, well, she's been my girlfriend for 5 months. And like, what? And then Ben's like, well, I've been friends with her for 5 years. And then Brandon's like, well, I've never heard of you before. And Ben's like, well, now I'm sure you will. I'm like, whoa. Like, this was like back and forth. Like, really good. Like, shit.
And Brandon just got like juked. Like, he like didn't even realize like what he was in for.
And then I have another one. Because this one I was like, yo. Brandon's like, you're just one of Madison's exes. She's got a lot of those. And Ben's like, well, I guess you're one of them too. I'm like, oh. Like, God, no one's so good.
Like, all the
this
moments.
This was like your rap, bro. Like, you should put this into your rap. Like, this is good.
Ben should be the rapper at this point because he can come up with those lines real quick.
They should just do like a tag team.
Yeah, featuring. But like, I was just really, really annoyed because Branton, he's really playing. You're right. This episode showed his age so much. He's so immature. He acts like such a child. And in this moment, he's putting on this like really dumb machismo, like, like I'm trying to like ruffle my feathers, and you think you're funny. I'm gonna go get her back at some point in time. Like, Ben is cool as a cucumber, and he's making Brandon look like a freaking idiot. Like, such a dum-dum. And Brandon's just feeding right into it. He's, like, playing into his insecurities, and he's just sounding stupider and stupider as the episode goes on. So it ends off with Brandon saying, I'm going to get her back, and then Ben saying, I'm gonna keep my eye on you, bitch. He didn't say bitch, but like I wish he did. That's the thing. He didn't even have to say it. It was like he said it with his eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
totally.
Ben was just like so calm and collected. He didn't have to throw any punches because it was so easy to dominate Brandon in that conversation. It was amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the end of the episode.
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's get into our recap and roundups.
Recap roundups. Best moment.
My best moment is going to go to Tarek serving some crazy ass tea to Brandon in that moment. I was just like, thank you for like literally saying everything that we've been saying about Brandon.
Yeah.
And just like highlighting like all the things that Brandon is missing. Like he's like, Ben is amazing. Ben is employed.
He's like, Ben is basically everything that you are not.
He's not a musician. Yeah. And like you could tell like Brandon was just feeling the heat. He was like shots fired. Like he couldn't come back.
Yeah.
Couldn't come back from it. Dead.
Yeah, it's so true. My best moment goes to Canvas and Paige at brunch, because I just like, we didn't know what it was last week and now we see kind of how it is now. Yeah. And I'm living for it. I'm totally down for it. And I think it's really, really cute to see them. And I like the fact that they're keeping it light and like cheery, and it's not like we love each other and we're in a relationship now, you know, like it's
exactly.
I thought it was a really cool dynamic that they have. Whether or not it's for the cameras, I don't even care, because I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
Either way.
WTF moment.
My WTF moment was the final scene that we get with Brandon and Ben, because Brandon sounded like a dum-dum and Ben was cool. So like I was more, it's not that I was like WTF to Brandon, but mostly like, yeah, it makes him look even and sound even more dumb than he normally does, because Ben was so like contrasted with him in that moment. So yeah, in that moment I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Brandon? You're like chugging wine and eating grapes and trying to like shit talk this guy who's basically like floating around you, like laughing. Like, what are you doing right now? You're so like, I don't understand what your end game is at this point.
He has no end game because he has no plan, because he doesn't know what to do with his life.
Because his mind is always like, I just need the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is what is your WTF moment?
My WTF moment, I don't really know if I have one, but if I had to choose, I think I'm gonna say like the whole Juliet, Alex, Hannah drama.
That whole situation.
Just the way like Juliet handled it, because like she didn't handle it. Like you talk so much shit all season and like you act like you're such a like boss ass B, but like when it came down to it, you literally like hid in the shadows and like ran to the fire. Like
you couldn't even properly handle your situation.
And I was just so shocked, because I'm like, here's this girl who's like, she constantly acts like she's like this big boss, but like,
you ain't really shit, anything. Girl.
And also, I kind of was like, high key, I'm like, I'm really down for Hannah and Alex right now. So if this moment leads to something,
let's see
I'll
the
be happy.
sexual tension. Okay.
MVP.
My MVP is gonna go to Benji,
Benji,
because I think he rolls up like so classy, so cool with his Range Rover and like his shoes and like
the bottle flip
and his blue eyes and the bottle flip.
Yeah,
like he was just like the whole package. So far. Excited to see more of him. I just don't understand like where he came from and like where he fits in, because like, does he even live in Florida? I don't think he lives in Florida.
Right. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
My MVP has to go to our boy Tarek, because I think he just like turned up for his girl and laid it down like you said to Brandon. So I was totally feeling him in this episode for sure. I wish I could see more of him. We only see these like little snippets of him, so it's a bit of a shame that we don't get a lot more of him. But I was happy to see him this episode, and he just like turned it out and then walked away, and I loved it.
Agreed.
LVP.
My LVP is gonna go to Juliet, and basically you know why.
Like, yeah. And I would agree with you, because I was racking my brain trying to figure out who my LVP would be outside of Brandon, because he's always my LVP.
Yeah.
And the only person I can think of is Juliet, like failing miserably at just being a decent person in the situation.
And then like honestly guys, I don't want to hate, but like I see her Twitter and I'm like, oh my god, this is like crazy. Like this person's crazy, right? Or like really stupid. Like, I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean, but I'm like, holy crap, like this person can't be this stereotypical, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say it, but like it really is. Like, I feel like she probably is the realest person, guys, on the show. Like, real talk. Like, she's probably the realest cast member who's like just like her character on the show. Like, I don't know what else to say at this point. Like, that's who she is.
Which is like the most ironic thing you could ever say. Yeah. Because it's just like you like, are you fake? No, you're actually just like who you are.
You're so real.
It's like mind blowing. Okay.
The best line.
My best line, and I kind of had a few, but like this one made me laugh the hardest.
Yeah.
And it was with Hannah and that girl, like the best friend girl.
Yeah.
And Hannah looks to her and she's like, I've been depressed, like, and kind of sad. Like, can you tell? And the friend's like, no, I can't. She's like, yeah, I know, because I'm like hiding it right now. I'm like putting on a show. I'm like, what are you seeing? These people are nuts. What?
How would you know
You
if
just
you were
putting
hiding
on a show. Like, I was dead. I was dying so hard. I'm like, what did you just
They
say?
don't understand themselves. Like, they don't hear themselves
and, like,
speak.
Even the friend was like, yeah, no, I don't see it. She's like, I can't tell. She's like, I just met you tonight. I don't really know you.
She's like, I'm literally just here for the beer. She's like, I'm a part of the crew. I don't know what's going on.
Exactly. I'm a hired extra.
My favorite quote, I already said it, but it was Juliet's line. Two rights don't make it wrong.
For sure.
You know, she's my LVP, but she also has my best line. So I don't know what that says about the show.
Yeah. And I think it was the way she said it. Like, as soon as she said it, her eyes, like, I saw it. It was like in her eyes, she realized. She's like, oh, fuck, I did it again. Like, I messed up the saying. Like, she knew it. And she couldn't go back.
Like, so disappointed.
She couldn't take it back.
Yeah. It's like mentally in his head, he was just like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
There goes my, like,
he's like,
boner for her. Like, he's just like,
he's like, you said it wrong. Again.
So that's the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our podcast. If you guys want to keep listening, don't forget to check it out next week. We'll be back. And
I think next week is the season finale, right?
Is it?
I think it is. I think I saw someone's tweeting about that.
Okay, sweet, exciting. So if that's the season finale, then we'll see everything wrap up, and we'll see. Yeah. We'll talk about maybe if it's gonna come back for a second season.
Yes.
Anyway, so don't forget to check us out on Instagram and on Twitter at recap_rewind, and like, comment, subscribe, and that's about it, y'all.
That's it, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.